Alright, so this is a response to Armchair Revolutionary's response video to me. So I guess it's a response video. I don't know what the fuck ever, you know? Whatever. Alright, anywho. Look, man, I don't hate you either. I don't got any real beef with you or anything like that. What I do have a problem with is you sitting there and, you know, sitting there implying that I'm a simp, or that I'm sitting there and using the same bullshit that feminists use. That isn't what I was doing there. I think you mistook what I was saying. When I sat there and said that it sounds like a conspiracy theory, it does sound like a conspiracy theory. It's the same type of thing as, you know, the Illuminati thing and all that sort of shit. You know, it's all like, oh, the government controls everything. Well, to a degree it does. I will have to fucking agree on that. The government's pretty much got its grimy mitts in everything nowadays. But the thing is not every scientific study is going to be manipulated by the government. They're only going to manipulate something where they think that they've got something to gain for it. But, like I said in my, you know, response video, that, you know, I'm all like, all right, I stand corrected. I don't got a problem ever admitting that I'm wrong. But the thing is, I'm also not going to sit there and completely discount science. I'm not going to completely discount scientific theory. I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not going to completely discount scientific studies, especially if the studies seem to have merit. Now, if it comes up that there was a problem with the data gathering or something along those lines, then yes, my opinion will fucking change. That doesn't mean I'm a simp. That means I am going off of the information that I have. And the thing is with the way that you're coming at me, most people would fucking go off on you. I'm not going off on you. I'm explaining my situation. You know, I always sound fucking angry. You know, unless I'm laughing at some stupid bitch or, some SJW losing their motherfucking shit. But everyone always tells me that I constantly sound agitated and angry. This is just how I sound. But in all honesty, dude, I don't want to start a beef with you. I know you're not wanting to start a beef with me. You already said as much. But, you know, when you sit there and you go ahead and... I watched your video, and the thing is your words are saying you don't want to start a beef with me, but the images that were flashing up on there, and I'm going to go ahead and okay it to go through. I don't have it where links are automatically okayed on my channel just to stop spam. I'm sure you understand that shit. But I'm going to go ahead and do that once I can get back to a computer, because my computer's acting up right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. But once I can go ahead and get to a computer, I'll go ahead and log on and do that. But I want to go ahead and post this video just so that way you have a reply in as timely of a manner as possible. I know I've been a little erratic with my shit lately. A lot of shit's been going on with my family. But the thing is when I sat there and did that, I wasn't sitting there using it as shaming language or anything. Now, if I sit there and call you Alex Jones, then it's a shaming thing, because yeah, Alex Jones gets some shit right, but he is very much conspiracy theory, and I'm sorry, he peddles a lot of bullshit. I don't know if you're an Alex Jones fan or not. I mean, I'm somewhat a fan of Alex Jones just because he pisses off all the right people anyway. So I'll go ahead and watch his shit from time to time, at least for a good laugh. But, like, once he started peddling the supplements and shit like that, I was all like, oh, dude, now you're a fucking ass clown, you know? But, I mean, he does have some valid fucking points. And like I said, even if I sit there and I think someone's a complete and total conspiracy theorist, I still listen to what they fucking say. Because the thing is, there have been a lot of conspiracy theorists that have actually ended up being right. Not all of them. There's a lot of them that are just straight up fucking nutty. Like, the chances of that shit fucking happening are slim to fucking none. Now, with what you're saying, it exists within the realm of possibility, but the thing is also at the same time, if you're going to go ahead and go that route, you have to be fair here. And if you're going to sit there and say, oh, well, all these modern studies are politically driven, well then, I gotta ask you something. You really think the past ones weren't? I mean, hell, just look at how long it took for the round earth theory to actually fucking, become accepted, become known as actual fact. And even now, we still got fucking flat earthers that are sitting there and they are conspiracy theorists. They're saying, oh, the pictures from, from outer space and all that, that's all photoshopped. The moon landing was fucking fake, which, honestly, on that one, I don't even care. I don't care if the moon landing's fake or whatever, but the thing is we've seen rockets go up. We have satellites that orbit the fucking planet. Pretty fucking sure those satellites got a better view than us sitting here on the fucking dirt. You know? It's like comparing the view of an eagle to a flea sitting on a dog's back. You know, there's no comparison between the two there. What I'm saying is, the way that you were bringing it across, it's all like, oh, well, we shouldn't trust any modern day studies. That's a really dangerous path to go down, and that's the type of shit that leads to stuff like feminism, where, they have the listen and believe thing, except here it's don't listen, don't believe. To a degree, I agree with the don't listen, don't believe thing, because of the pure and simple fact that there's so many people that absolutely lie. So I don't fully disagree with it, but also at the same time, there's got to be some level of trust somewhere, or else this is all just going to go really shitty, really fucking quick. And if you're not willing to listen to anyone else, or even consider that they might be telling the truth, and not to mention, even in a lie, usually there's an element of truth there, and you need to be able to extrapolate that. If all you get is lies, to get the truth, you have to extrapolate the truth out of the lies. That means you have to deconstruct the lies. You have to actually take a look at them. Me, I didn't have all of the information there. As soon as I got all that information, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, no, this is bullshit. But it seems like you had a real problem with me saying that was, that your issue with scientific studies, and them having government and all that involved in them was a conspiracy theory. Because the thing is, there's a lot of government studies that are done by third parties that are completely devoid of government influence, as much as anything can be. But the thing is you're not devoid of government influence. I'm not devoid of government influence. No one's devoid of government influence. But the thing is as long as you're not funded by the government, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it takes the government being involved for feminism to fuck shit up. And that's the reason why if I hear a fucking bullshit statistic, like, the statistic that they use for, saying, oh, well, we live in a rape culture. That's absolute and total bullshit. We don't live in a rape culture. In fact, that's one of the things that pissed me off the most. I'm all like, it's all like, I went through, and just with cursory research on that one's really easy to debunk, because all you have to do is look at the original study, and even in the original study, the people who conducted it said that there were problems with the study, that it shouldn't be used as definitive proof of anything. And then you had the subsequent studies where they sat there and sent out flyers to people asking if they had been raped. Obviously, the vast majority of people that are going to respond are going to fall into two categories. One is people who have actually been raped. Fair enough, right? But the second one is going to be people wanting attention, because they didn't have to give their names or anything like that. All they had to do was give their gender and their age. And, what year they were in college when they got raped. yeah, that's rife for confirmation bias. There's a lot of things like that. That's the reason why double-blind studies are used, and the reason why you have controls and so on and so forth. I mean, with social type studies, it's really hard to avoid confirmation bias. So you have to allow for a margin of error. It's not an exact science, and that's why I'm all like, all right, social sciences are a soft science. And when it comes to women getting sociology degrees and so on and so forth, well, you even yourself said that women, as far as the social aspect, kind of edge out men. And I think we kind of agree on that, but it's not even by much, especially not nowadays with the modern day woman. You know, since they don't have to, all they have to do is yell at you for being sexist if you disagree with them. So they're not even sharpening their fangs on that. So it's so they're killing themselves off on that one. So pretty soon guys are going to just be better at the social thing than women, because women are going to have no practice in it. They're not going to have anyone else to teach them because they're kicking dads out of the fucking family. So who's going to teach these girls social habits? Oh, other women. And the social habits that they're teaching them, well, they're just bad social habits. And we've seen women, they tend to take a bad idea and make it worse. You know, you just look at this throughout any social or political sphere where women get their grubby hands involved. So as far as the social aspect, they're good at social manipulation. I don't think they're good at social interaction. There's a big difference. Social manipulation is only part of social interaction. But I just wanted you to know I wasn't coming at you. I wasn't insulting you. I wasn't using that as shaming language. I was actually using it as a descriptor because it sounded like you were painting with a really broad brush as far as scientific studies are concerned. And I'm not going to give up on science. And if that makes me a fucking simp, well then what the fuck are MGTOW, since a lot of the MGTOW belief is based off of fucking science. And if you think that past sciences haven't been influenced by governmental and social bullshit, because, I mean, you can't deny back in the past, it was not denied that men were superior to women. In fact, it was strictly enforced in a lot of cultures. And so, if anyone even mentioned a woman being better at any single thing other than childbirth, or bitching and pissing and whining and moaning, because I'm pretty sure there's cave drawings depicting that shit. But they would have sat there and said, oh, fuck no. And they wouldn't have let that. Or they would have changed it to where, oh, yeah, you know, men are, 100% better at this. So the thing is what you're using is a double-edged sword. You know? And I don't know where you get the men came from women thing. I don't. I was raised in a Christian family, so as far as that goes, I legitimately don't know. So if you've got like some, studies that were done or something like that, or some theory that I haven't heard of, because this is the first I'm hearing of that, of men coming from that, other than feminist theory, where they sit there and, the prominent person for that was the bitch who wrote the Scum Manifesto, where she sat there and said that men were a mistake of nature, that we were a genetic anomaly. But that's the closest I've ever heard to that, and I know you're not fucking quoting that shit to me. I know you're not saying that that's fucking legit. I know you're not saying that's legit. Although it would be funny if we were the genetic anomaly, wouldn't it? I mean, at that point, it's all like, it shows that mistakes can be the best medicine, can't it? Um, that would absolutely be hilarious. I mean, would that not be such a bitch slap to the face of feminism if men were a genetic anomaly? You know, if we were some just random genetic mutation from women. But the only problem with that is men and women had to have basically co-evolved. And that's just the same with any and all dimorphic species. But I'm just I have no problem sitting there and, you know, getting a good laugh in at that. But I mean, just the way that genetics work and the way that our reproduction works. And, you know, just looking at, you know, bones of ancient humans and how women still always had those same signifiers, you know, the birth canal, the wider hips, the different stride, all that, you know, it's, and yeah, I'm focusing in the hip and groin area because I'm sorry, that's where the event happens. I mean, that's pretty common knowledge at this point. But, yeah, no, I don't know where you're getting this whole men came from women thing. In all honesty, it seems more like a coevolution than anything else. I mean, obviously, you know, if you go all the way back through genetics, you know, eventually you're going to get to something that was dividing with itself, but that was not woman. Guaranteed, at no point are we going to find any evidence that women were somehow impregnating themselves. But, well, they do now, but that's, they're still not impregnating themselves, they're just sperm jacking us. But, yeah, I just wanted to go ahead, make a reply video to you, let you know I'm not wanting to start a fucking beef with you, but also at the same time, don't come on my channel and be hypersensitive. Don't think that I'm attacking you. Trust me, you will know if I'm attacking you. That was not meant as shaming language. That was me just pointing out that the odds of every single scientific study being influenced by this, or even I'll admit, you know, half or even a majority of them probably are. But I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's what I was saying there. And, you know, if you have an issue with the conspiracy theory thing, I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone else. Get over it. Because that's not how it was meant. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about anyone's feelings other than my own. To be perfectly honest. It's not anything personal. It's just how I am. And I'm not going to sit there and say I'm sorry for saying it because it was an accurate descriptor of what I was saying. So, I'm not going to retract it. But also at the same time, I understand where you're coming from on it. I understand your concerns. But the thing is that... no. And I'm sorry, there's nothing that will actually get under my skin faster than someone sitting there and comparing me to a feminist. Because I'm as far from a feminist as possible. And as far as a simp is concerned, you are probably describing me from about anywhere from 10 to 15 years ago. Actually, probably a little bit more recent, in all honesty. I'll be honest. At about the age of, 23 and 24, that's when I started really seeing the world as far as what it truly is. And here I am now in my 30s. But, the thing is, dude, in all honesty, just don't discount every last fucking scientific study saying, oh, well, the government probably had something to do with it, or feminists probably had something to do with it. even at that point, even if they're, like, if you look at their way of gathering the data, you'll be able to see any signs of tampering. Me, I didn't know about them sitting there. I didn't know the age range. I thought that they were doing that on adults, because I figured, why the fuck would they do this on, children when they're not done developing? And since children develop on different timescales based on gender. But the thing is I figured it this way. Even if it was giving a little bit of extra bump to women, I mean, isn't that a fucking sad state of affairs that they have to fucking cheat to get even? I mean, shit. And I mean, yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and poke fun at it because, well, fuck. It's all like, you had to fucking cheat. You had to fucking cheat to get up to an equal level with men. And it wasn't even to get up to an equal level with men. You just straight up didn't do the test when it was men versus women. But a test when it was boys versus girls in the one small window where girls have faster development because of a difference in brain density. I mean, to me, I find that fucking hilarious. I'm not even mad about it. I think it's absolutely hilarious because when you find out the truth at that point, it's all like, wow, that's gotta be a kick in the fucking uterus. Oh, wow. What the fuck? But yeah, like I said in the reply video where I was saying that, I stand corrected. Honestly, thank you for pointing me towards that video. And I honestly don't know how I didn't see that one. I tend to watch TFM, but that was one that somehow slipped past my radar. So, yeah, I just dude, honestly, I just want to squash this. I don't want to go ahead and get into a war or anything like that. But I just also wanted you to know my position on this, where I'm coming from on this. It's not a simp thing. It's me being fair. And, I mean, that's something that's pretty well known on this channel. I try to be as even-handed as possible. I don't say I necessarily give benefit of the doubt, because I don't. I tend to be pretty skeptical of a lot of shit. Someone makes a claim, I'm all like, all right, please explain this from point A to point B to point C all the way to point Z. Because, especially if it's something that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like with the whole wage gap thing, instantly I saw that as bullshit. But that's also because, as far as statistics are concerned, I know that a lot of statistics, they've got a little bit of manipulation in there. Let's be honest. But at least it gives a good jumping off point for knowledge. At least it's putting you in the general ballpark, usually. It's very rare that statistics are completely off base. So, alright, man. I've ranted enough. I'll talk to you later. I meant to keep this video kind of short, but you know how that is on my channel if you've watched any of my other videos. I never keep them short. So, have a good night, man. I'll talk to you later.